Hello, this is an installation video for the Kuryakyn transformer grips on a 2015 Kawasaki Vulcan Vaquero. So to get started, they suggest that you take off the left side first. So to do that, you're going to have to loosen the switch box housing. So you're going to have to remove that screw, and then also on the bottom here, there's a screw here, and then there's a screw back here that you're going to want to loosen so that you can get the switch box housing off. So I already loosened all these, so you can take that off, put that on your drop cloth so you don't get any scratches. And this actually piece just kind of lifts off so you can get the halves apart. And then on the bottom, it also mentioned that, let me use this here. It also mentioned that you can, you're going to want to loosen the throttle cables to get as much play while you're doing this as you can. So that kind of just sits there still, and I already pre-loosened the back part, so we should just be able to kind of slide this apart. Maybe gotta move this. Might have to, I'm going to completely unscrew that bottom. Okay, so the next thing is going to be to actually remove the throttle cables from the grip here. So as you can see, there's the cable that goes into this little slot, and basically if you lift that up, this kind of pulls out and it'll just basically dangle there. So you do that on both sides. Get a good angle here. And then you basically, the instructions just say to put them back in on the Kuryakyn one. So there's, you can see the holes are up there at the top, and you basically just put it in the same way. So I'm going to do that now. So after you take them off, basically you have the two halves there. The back half, for me, actually just kind of slid out of that piece, so, but that's fine. It'll go right back in there. It's no big deal. So now I'm going to attach the cables to the Kuryakyn grips. Okay, so I reattached the throttle cables into the Kuryakyn grip. There it is. Slides all the way up there just fine. The instructions did suggest using needle nose pliers, and that actually worked pretty good to kind of have an extra, thread the needle sort of thing. So then basically, once you get it seated in there, that kind of just pops back together again, and then you just gotta screw everything back down, and that'll be the right side. Okay, then once you get everything screwed back in together, if you did everything right, you should be able to check the free play. So there's a little bit of play there, and then they basically want to make sure that when you let go, it goes back to where it's supposed to. So you got the cabling done right. So that's all that is to do on the right side. One thing to note that I had problems with, the two screws up here, this guy and this guy, were both screwed in really tight from the factory, and you can almost see from here I stripped them trying to get it out. So I had to basically hammer in my screwdriver to get a better fit, since the screws are so soft. So just use caution when trying to take them out, or one suggestion I saw was to use a rubber band to get the extra tension. So just be careful when you're trying to loosen them up if they're tight for you, because they're really soft screws. So for the right side, on the 2015, it's a little different. The end cap does screw off, but the way they put it on there, I had to actually resort to hammering it off. If you can get some sort of torque on that to be able to do it, but there's no screw in the bottom. I made that hole myself trying to figure out how the fuck to get this off. This part actually wasn't even glued on. As soon as I cut it open, it just fell off. Then this piece just kind of was sitting on there, just free. And then you can see I had to bust this up pretty good to get it off, but you can see that there's threads there. It is actually screwed on, but you're not going to really need to use it again, so my advice is just hammer it off to begin with, or unless you can get it to screw off. But I've read on multiple threads that people said it was really hard to get off. So then this should just slide off here, and then all you got to do is put the glue on the Kuryakyn grips and slide it on. You're going to want to make sure that you know where you want to line it up first, matching the right side, because they said in the instructions you only have 6 seconds after you slide it on before it sets. Then when you slide it on, you got to hold on to the grip. They tell you to kind of apply pressure to get the glue seated in there. When you're sliding it on, kind of twist it as you go to get it, to go all the way around. But yeah, when you get done, then they should both be kind of in that facing sort of upright position there. And that's all you got to do.